Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council (PDRRMC) and Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office (APSEMO) have once again cautioned the public regarding the recent phreatic eruption from Mayon volcano. This includes exercising extreme caution, especially when engaging in any activities around Mayon volcano, which is currently at alert level 2, indicating a moderate level of unrest. Although there is no evacuation order or directive to evacuate, it is still necessary to remain vigilant, especially for residents near the foothills of Mayon volcano or families within the 6-kilometer radius of the permanent danger zone (PDZ). In another story, a lanky beauty queen from Daraga town walked away with a crown during the Miss Universe Philippines Albay Coronation Night on Sunday at the Proxy Oriental Hotel, Legazpi City. Ms. Elaine Bernales will represent Albay in the Miss Universe Philippines 2024. Meanwhile, Ms. Rani Lakmi Dadu of Tabaco was the first runner-up, while Ms. Mona Patrice Gamit of UAS was the second runner-up and was also given the Best Provincial Attire Award. In another news, 2 new People's Army NPA members were killed in a clash with the government soldiers in Barangay Tuburan, Kawayan Town in Masbate Province on Monday, the Philippine Army said. In an interview, Major Frank Roldan, 9th Infantry Division Public Affairs Office Chief, identified the suspects as Florencia Igot Rigala and Pedro Rigala. Authorities also recovered from the site 1 M16 rifle, 1 caliber .38 revolver, 1 homicide or homemade shotgun, 5 cellular phones, and backpacks belonging to the rebels. Roldan said no casualties were recorded on the part of the government, and the troops are still scouring the encounter site and follow-up operations will be conducted. In the national scene, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, DICT, on Monday said the latest hacking attempts on different government websites that are linked to IP addresses of China-backed telco firms are considered sophisticated. The ICT Undersecretary for Infrastructure Management, Cybersecurity and Upskilling, Jeffrey Ian D., said that this is more complicated than the previous hacking attempts thwarted by the cybersecurity experts of the government. According to D, the perpetrators were detected in a telecom company based in China, but he also clarified that as of the latest, there are no concrete evidence that China has something to do with the incidents. In another story, legal experts appeared before the Senate panel on Monday to discuss revisions to economic provisions in the 1987 Constitution proposed in the resolution of both houses number 6. Apart from whether changes to the 1987 Constitution are needed at all, the experts also gave the Senate advice on how these changes could be done. Constitutionalist Christian Monsod said that investors shy away from the Philippines not because of the Constitution, but because of corruption. Instead of touching the economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution, lawmakers should instead prioritize passing an enabling law for the ban on political dynasties, he said. In another news, government agencies, including the Departments of Defense and of Justice, have issued warnings against moves that threaten the territorial integrity of the Philippines. Although the agencies did not name anyone, the warnings were issued after former President Rodrigo Duterte revived the campaign for Mindanao independence, which Davao del Norte 1st District Representative Pantaleon Alvarez said he is gathering signatures for it. It is said that secession is contrary to the principles of a democratic society, as stated in the Constitution, and called on Filipinos to reject secessionist ideologies. The Philippine National Police is already looking into the matter, Police General Benjamin Nakota Jr. said. And in the news outside the country, Pope Francis condemned all forms of anti-Judaism and anti-Semitism, labeling them as a sin against God, after noticing an increase in attacks against Jews around the world. The Pope noted that wars and divisions are increasing all over the world, and a sort of piecemeal world war, hitting the lives of many populations. He assured that Jewish community of his closeness and affection, particularly those consumed by anguish, pain, fear, and even anger, repeating his call for the end of the war. In another story, the United States intends to launch further strikes at Iran-backed groups in the Middle East, the White House National Security Advisor said on Sunday, after hitting Tehran-aligned factions in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen over the last 2 days. The United States and Britain unleashed attacks against 36 Houthi targets in Yemen, a day after the U.S. military hit Tehran-backed groups in Iraq and Syria in retaliation for the deadly attack on U.S. troops in Jordan. The strikes are the latest blows in the conflict that has spread into the Middle East since October 7, when the Iran-backed Palestinian militant groups Hamas stormed Israel from the Gaza Strip, igniting war. And finally, in the news outside the country, the U.S. Senate on Sunday unveiled a $118 billion bipartisan border security bill that would also provide aid to Ukraine and Israel following months of negotiations. But the measure faces an uncertain future amid opposition by Donald Trump and hardline Republicans. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said he would take steps to hold an initial vote on the bill on Wednesday. If the bill were to become a law, it would mark the most significant changes in the U.S. immigration and border security in decades. Independent U.S. Senator Kirsten Sinema said that legislation would secure the U.S. southern border, including by requiring the Department of Homeland Security to shut down the frontier to migrants if there are an average of more than 5,000 crossing attempts per day over 7 days. that's all for the 12 o'clock news, February 6, 2024. We'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock newsbreak writer, Francia May Boras. And on the technical side, Chad Bobbies. And our provincial information officer, Attorney Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our governor, Attorney Elsil Grexligman, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.
Hello, this is Cedric Daep, Department Head ng Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office. Suportan na po ang Albay PIO TV. Then dapat kita diding maaraman, masasagutan, information, manawag sa mga pangaipo, manawag sa disaster, manawag sa development. Sa tuya po, dahil paglingawan na magdanong reading, dahil napula ko niya sa tuyang tabang. Salamat tabi sa tuya po.
Hello Albayanos! Iniibitahan po namin kayo na tangkilikin ng sariling atin, ang Albay PIO TV na naglalayo na maghatid ng presko at makatotohanan at napapanahong balita mula sa lokal, nasyonal at maging sa labas ng bansa para sa ating mga kababayan sa Albay. Mapapanood ito mula 8:30 hanggang 9:30 ng umaga sa Albay Provincial Information Office 2023 official Facebook page. See you!